This is the new BMW 3 Series Gran Turismo, and it's for people who need something with a little bit more space than a 3 Series Touring, but don't want to step up all the way into a 5 Series. The 3 Series GT has a wheelbase which is about that much longer than the normal 3 Series, and as a result you've got absolutely loads of legroom back here. In fact, there's more legroom than in the 5 Series. Now you can actually recline the rear seats like that, which is handy, and the car is quite wide as well, and so you can fit 3 abreast in the back if you need to, although this transmission tunnel will get in the way somewhat of the person who gets the middle seat. One thing to note is that the sloping roof line does mean that if you're sitting here, headspace isn't as good as in the more boxy Touring, and it's actually a little bit worse on this car because we've got the optional sunroof there, and it does actually eat into the headroom a little bit more. Overall though, the GT model is the best 3 Series for carrying rear passengers, and it's actually got the most boot space as well. All cars come with an electrically powered tailgate, although I know some people prefer just a normal manual system because it's quicker. But the boot you've got, like I say, it's the biggest of any 3 Series. It's bigger than on the Touring with the seats up, and it's even bigger than the Touring with the seats folded, which you can do from back here easily using these handles. Now these partial shelves, they are solid, and you're probably thinking, where the heck do I put those? Well, look at this. This is nice and handy. They will fit in the underfloor storage compartment. It's a clever idea, isn't it? You've also got some useful tethers here, here and here, but one word of warning: while this boot may be slightly bigger than the estate cars, the tapered tailgate means that you can't carry such boxy items such as wardrobes quite so easily. Now I'm going to show you some cutaways of the interior cubby spaces now, because they're very plentiful and there's lots of places to store your bits and pieces. Finally, BMW has tried to make the Gran Turismo model seem a little bit more upmarket by adding features such as more plastic cladding to cover up the metal in the boot, and it also has these stylish frameless windows, and these are pretty much like the automotive equivalent of those bifold patio doors posh people have on their houses. Inside, the 3GT's design is almost identical to the normal 3 Series, and you can select it with a wide range of interior designs. So if you think wood is no good, you can opt for something a bit more youthful. Standard equipment includes rear parking sensors, climate control, USB for the stereo, digital radio, cruise control, and BMW's easy-to-use iDrive for the infotainment system. Meanwhile, safety kit includes 6 airbags and DSC anti-skid control. As for reliability, well, the normal BMW 3 Series, on which this car is based, finished in the top 10 of the 2013 Driver Power Owner Satisfaction Survey. In fact, why not rate your car by visiting driverpower.co.uk. People who do lots of miles will be better off going for one of the 2-litre diesels. The best one though is the 320D, because that will do 0 to 60 in around 8 seconds and still return 57 miles per gallon. Part of the reason for the car's impressive economy is a number of aerodynamic features fitted to the 3GT. For instance, it's the first BMW to get air breathers behind the front wheels for smoother airflow, and an active rear wing, something, to be fair, Audi has had for a while. The BMW 3 Series is the best handling car in its class, but because the GT sits slightly higher and it weighs more, it does roll a little bit more in the corners. But that said, it's still not far off in terms of the actual cornering ability. And because it's got a fine rear wheel drive chassis and you've got sharp steering, it is still more fun to drive than most cars. And some people, they'll be willing to sacrifice some of that agility anyway for this car's improved comfort and the fact that you sit slightly higher, which gives you a better view going forwards. You can make it even better with the adaptive suspension, because in comfort mode, the 3GT suspension is as yielding as a memory foam mattress. Therein lies the problem with this car. You see, you have to spend on the extras to make it as good as it can be. For instance, as well as the adaptive dampers, you're going to want to spend on the excellent 8-speed automatic gearbox with paddle shifters, because it's just so good. You're probably also going to want the leather interior and the sat-nav, not only for your own benefit, but in order to make sure that the car holds its value as well come resale time. And then when you add in all those options, you're actually getting close to the price of a 5 Series. There are some other issues too. The 3 GT isn't the quietest car in the world, as the tyres make a lot of noise on rough surfaces. Also, the car's large bottom means rear visibility isn't great. It's especially bad in the wet, as there is no rear wiper. Finally, there's the fact that this car looks a little bit more bulbous than the normal 3 Series saloon, or even the Touring for that matter. However, for some people, its added practicality and even greater comfort means that the Gran Turismo will be the 3 Series of choice.